What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Before we get to Neesmith's dunk on Chet Holmgren, the league's #1 rim protector in terms of making people inefficient if they're trying to go up on him. Chet Holmgren was pretty terrible last night and hasn't been the factor in this series that I thought he was going to be. But Jalen Williams is doing something after a season of talking about Steph, LeBron, and who's the next face of the league. Jalen Williams did something last night that now has ESPN comparing him to Scottie Pippen all over the place. It's an unusual story, right? He was 5'6" as a freshman in high school. He was a fringe first rounder. As recently as 2020, Stugotz, he was scoring 8 points a game at Santa Clara. He was the 230th recruit. Jokic is the standard in that league for nobody knows anything. He's in the second round and he's dominant. But Jalen Williams, this was not expected of him.
Certainly not expected. Even making the All-Star game this year, I don't think people had comparisons to Scottie Pippen in mind. I will say what he does works really well for this team. First of all, he's a really solid two-way player, so he's a good defender. And this is a team they love to drive, right? They either want the new age NBA, it's either drives or threes. Jalen Williams does a great job of driving, gets his shoulder past the guy. Very much learned from Shea on that little shove-off. And he's got great finishing left or right hand around the rim. Yesterday, he absolutely had it going, especially with those finishes. And then, he had the one little Michael Jordan turnaround and was really feeling himself there. But it was a great game by a very good player. I wouldn't put him in the Scottie Pippen realm at any point in his career.
But I understand how we have to do this in the content game, but he's 24 years old, okay? And again, I'll say 40-point game in the playoffs. Hakeem didn't do it, Bird didn't do it, Malone didn't do it. It's an impressive game and impressive for this reason, more so than just, 40-point game. Go ahead and look up for me all the times he's taken more shots this season than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because everything's running through him and he's the one getting the free throws. He's the one playing downhill. He's the one when the game gets close and everything's being decided with 2 points in the fourth quarter, the difference between the two teams, he's the one hitting the three. That game last night was not won by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That game last night was won with their number 2 option being their number 1 option. And it's something that I don't think Carlisle or the Pacers could prepare for because how many times is Jalen Williams going to take more shots in a game and get a higher usage rate than the MVP of the league?
Well, that's the benefit of having the MVP of the league, right? Defenses are going to spend all of their time, all of their energy trying to stop that person. At the very least, if they go isolation with Jalen Williams early on and he's got it going, they know he's not going to get the same level of attention as SGA. So if he's got it going, if he's efficient with it, that's a great option to have. And there's some teams that have a big three. Well, Shea is just so, all-encompassing that he maybe was a shadow over Jalen Williams, but he's a solid member of a big three if you throw in Chet Holmgren.
It's not just a solid member. The reason that team is formidable for years to come, he's their 12th highest paid player at 24 years old.
It's good value.
Just put up a playoff game we never saw from Hakeem or Bird or Mailman. Mike, can you get me some more information on that screen painting that was stolen while I was in Lillehammer?
So there are 4 screen paintings. Did you know this?
I did not. It's like the Stanley Cup. There are many fakes around there so that no one steals the real, actual one.
So the real one, the one that's the most famous, is an 1893 version that was tempera and crayon on cardboard. Then there was another duplicate from 1893, all done by the same artist, crayon on cardboard. 1895 pastel on board. 1910 tempera on board. 2 of these versions have been stolen, not what is widely considered to be the original one. The original one has never been stolen. But in 1994, during the Lillehammer Olympics, the 1893 pastel on board version was stolen from the National Gallery. It was recovered a few months later. Also, in 2004, the 1910 version, tempera, on board, was stolen from the Munich Museum. From the Munch Museum. The artist had his own museum, and it was stolen right in front of people, like in broad daylight. As people were passing through the museum, they just took it away. But it was recovered 2 years later with some damage.
I appreciate you looking all that up. I don't think we still have an answer to the question of how hard it is to sell something like that on the black market.
Well, I mean, those are just the reports of the ones that they want to admit as well, right? Those are the ones that they recovered. There's obviously situations where if the real one was out there and was stolen, they're not going to tell you it's currently missing. We can't find it.
He doesn't get this black market.
He really doesn't.
What happens on the black market stays on the black market.
Right.
It's like a good offensive lineman. Yeah. If you know it was sold on the black market, you're not good at your job.
Yeah. You don't just go out there and brag about stealing it.
You have had all the answers today, Billy, but you don't seem to have an answer to my question about whether or not the Scream painting, after being stolen, was successfily sold.
I'm definitely going to be put on a list for all this search.
Yes, you are.
History that I'm doing right now. How do I sell something on the black
clearly
market?
it was sold, and they just put one of the replicas out there to now say, oh, look, we found it. Here it was.
My dad was born in Cuba. I can't be doing this.
I found it.
We will stop looking for this information before we alert the authorities to malfeasance after Chris Cody has suggested, with Billy's help, that we just steal the Stanley Cup trophy.
It's possible. It's literally going to be there for the taking.
Well, but it's not going to be there for the selling. You can steal it and keep it in your house. You're not going to be able to get rid of it and get money for it.
If you keep it in your house, you're an idiot.
No, you
honestly.
just charge money to come to your house.
You need to move it immediately. Look, here's the thing, right? You go out there, if you have the same case that has the bricks in it or the bassoon or whatever, it's a very easy, I grabbed the wrong, box. That's how you get out. That if they catch you walking out with it like, what? The Stanley
it's a great
Cup?
trick.
Oh, I thought this was part for my band.
Now that we see what the trunk looks like, you can get a replica trunk like that,
correct.
put it on the flight, and then take the wrong one.
You guys are overthinking it. Replica trunks and different trophies. That complicates matters, gets you being caught. These people don't know what Phil looks like. Maybe they Google him. All you need is a white-haired wig and some white gloves.
But you're not pretending to be Phil. You're just taking the thing.
Phil,
and say,
they give it right over to you.
Yeah.
Perfect crime.
Well,
The white gloves are important.
they're
Mike's
expecting
right. Yes.
Phil.
Yeah.
Hold on a second now, because I don't want to give anyone ideas, and I would recommend you do not take any of these steps. But, what are you thinking with Phil if you're then assuming Phil's identity? Is this like a bathroom chloroform situation? Go in one stall, Phil goes in the next stall, all of a sudden you walk out, you do the little
You
then
have
you walk out
you have a
as
partner.
Phil.
You have a partner
That's
to
what I'm saying.
distract him.
You need a team
hey,
of
let me
at
take
least a couple
selfie.
people.
The cup guy.
Right.
You just have maybe 6 of your friends
Yeah.
selfie. So he's delayed on the way
Honestly,
to get to
Right, and then Phil wakes up hours later.
This is
realizes-
probably-
Don't attack Phil.
This is a 3-person job probably, right? Because then you need the flight attendant with the Listerine. You put it in Phil's water, and then all of a sudden Phil needs to go to the bathroom, which is the closest bathroom to the gate. That's where we have the fake
thought
Phil
we
in
were
there.
gonna
The old
chloroform
chloroform.
Phil.
You do, but that's how you get him to go to the bathroom. You can't just say, hey,
Yes.
Phil, want to go with me to the bathroom? Maybe Phil says yes, but there's a chance Phil says no. He doesn't want to go with you to the bathroom. He's just met you. That's why you have the flight attendant with, the Visine. You put it in the drink, the old, what is it?
You've got him
wedding
drinking
crackers.
Listerine
Wedding crackers.
and
And
now
it ensures you go to the
We are
bathroom.
all the
No, just
children
once
of
you
immigrants.
a quick drop in there.
Yep,
That's
you
what I'm
gotta
saying.
go.
I said on the front end, don't do any of this.
We are
Don't do
all-
any of this.
Like
I
Alexi
said on the
Lawless,
front
we are
end.
all children of immigrants.
Don't do any of this. But this seems at least like a 3-person job.
I don't think that on this particular day, where the Panthers are this close to repeating as champions, we should be talking about crimes, felonies, theft, chloroforming Phil.
You brought it up with the rom-coms.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it up.
Rom-coms and Jace, whatever his name was.
I
Jack
didn't.
Jace.
I did not bring any of that up. I was adding to the story. You and Chris suggested stealing the trophy. Chris
No,
asked.
I said do not. I very clearly on the
Front
record
end,
said,
I heard it.
Do not
Yeah.
do any of these things, but it could.
Reali-
This is like OJ. if I did it, this is how I would do it.
Reali
That's what I'm saying.
is pleading with us to be more positive around here, and this is negative talk on the day
be a
of
great
the
heist,
Stanley,
imagine.
the Stanley
I'm just
Cup
saying.
Championship.
There's also 4 of them. They're going to miss one. Who cares?
Hello, Tony. What's happening here? What happened?
No, because you've had me outside for the last 2 hours trying to do positivity, by the way, right? Which is what I want to do. And there is not a Florida Panthers fan in sight.
So what are we going to do about
Okay,
that?
wait till the American-
He's pulling you out of the chair. Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
this is completely happening right before our eyes.
I have to leave.
I mean, you don't have to.
Get out of here.
Get out
All
of
eyes on the
room.
cup. Dan's out of the room.
That was certainly not set up. That was
need
not
that
a
negativity
setup.
in here.
Okay. No. Here we are. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tony.
Stu, my man.
Hello, buddy.
Oh, it's so
I love this
great.
show.
How about this chair, huh? How about this chair? So I'm here as your lead positivity correspondent to take you to places you know you want to go. The king of chaos, Oscar the Grouch over there, wants to bring us down. But now that I heard what you guys were talking about, I had the show on my headset for the
Stealing the
last
cup.
3 hours. So Stealing the Cup. Yeah. And I also heard how many movie references you guys were making. I want to go around the popcorn.
Hey.
There we go. Thank you, Cody. I said this. Let's go around the popcorn. We're gonna play a game show today, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got around the horn popcorn music for you. Movie trivia. Wow. And now I've got Dan over in the shipping container, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now I believe, gentlemen, you all have a whiteboard under your seat. Wow. Yeah. How about that? I planned ahead.
I don't know if I can play this and do all the sounds, so you guys just play.
Cody's out? Well, this is interesting because my first question was, how do you pronounce Michael Cera's name?
Not playing that game. All right, moving on.
What are you saying, Cera?
That's how you say it. Not how I say it.
Oh, my goodness. We're playing a game here, people. Let's get the mood up here. Some positivity. Good cut here. I like this.
This
Feel
is
that?
good positive music.
Yeah, you like this right
Good
here.
public domain music.
How did he get in here?
Game shows. Love game shows. Who doesn't love game shows?
Dan.
I think there might be a game show in my future.
Really? Are you breaking news
Well,
here?
I'm not breaking news, but I'm trying to put some positive words
I've nominated you for. I've said you're the person at ESPN, or you were
Thank
the
you.
person at
Thank you,
ESPN, most likely to
I'm
be
still-
great at hosting a game show.
Thank you very much. Our friend Dan Patrick had put me out for Jeopardy. That was a wonderful thing at one point in my life. Oh, okay. So, but we're playing around the popcorn here. This is movie trivia. I think I have a pretty good crew for this.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Thank you very much, Israel.
I almost said it.
You guys had me thinking con movies. Con movies.
I love a con movie.
From the conversation. So, I don't know, Chris, if we have a little bit more dramatic sting for our first question here. This will be multiple questions. We may have 10, 12 questions. What I want to do is I want to end in debate. I want to end in a showdown between two contestants who have amassed the most points head to head, and you're going to make arguments for the movies that are based on the questions for the
Isn't that
debate.
a little
Embrace
derivative?
debate.
Derivative? No, I just invented it right now. Came out of thin air.
So the show turns into First Take at some point.
Well, no. We are not solitaire here. We're going to do this together. We're going to do this all together. So what I want to say is this first question is about a con movie that I love. It's going back a few years. And how we're going to do this first question is we're going to go around the popcorn. All right, we're going to go in order here. And I need everyone, thank you, dramatic sting, to name an actor who played a character in this film. You cannot name the person that was just named by the person before you. Dan, you're going to start us off. The movie is Ocean's 11. First round for a point. Name an actor who starred in Ocean's 11. We will add points as we go. So, Dan, write down the name of someone who played Ocean's 11 and show us on that whiteboard. You've got a big list. This is one of the most charactered movies of all time, honestly.
Just Dan is doing this one.
Just Dan is doing.
Okay.
Dan has taken George Clooney correct off the board. George Clooney is a correct answer. 1 point for Dan Le Batard. We're going to keep on going. I see Israel Gutierrez back row. Israel, the cast of Ocean's 11 may be one of the best casts of all time.
Can I ask you a question? What,
Yes.
what if we have the same answers?
You're done now.
can't, right.
George Clooney's off
Clooney's
the board.
off the board, right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big cast here. Brad, my man, Pitt is correct. Israel Gutierrez gets a point.
Interesting.
Mike Ryan Ruiz, you're up on Ocean's 11. Scott Conn is the
I
next
should get
name?
double points.
No, I mean, really.
I should get double points because it's a con movie.
You don't get double points.
that.
There's not double points.
Couple of cons.
No, couple of cons cutting it up.
My man gets a point, though. Wow, I can't. Scott Conn's at home listening right now, and he knows he's there with Clooney and Penn. He's feeling pretty good about it. Billy Gill, what do we got? Bernie Mac. I love to see the name. Miss Bernie Mac. Absolutely miss Bernie Mac. There, that's a point. We're all rocking points right now.
I'm upset Chris Cody isn't playing now.
We can say the name out loud for the audio audience, too, guys, while you show it on the board.
Yes,
then
if
why do
you
we have
don't
the
mind
board?
doing that.
I don't even understand the writing on a board. We can just say it. We don't
You
need
have
the
to
board.
write it on the board.
We don't
No,
need
Because
the board.
it's an
you have
audio
to.
medium.
It's-
Right?
Stugotz, write it and say it. Julia Roberts.
Yes.
Correct.
Sneaky
We're
one.
moving now to the second round. 2 points now for your answer, as some of these names become more challenging. Dan Lebitard up first.
Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia, yes. Remember his character's name?
Cubano.
No, he is a Cubano, of course.
I don't
Terry
remember
Benedict.
his name. There it
Those
is.
are Terry Benedict's casinos.
Nice
Yes,
job,
very
man.
nice ball. Israel Gutierrez. Speak it to the mic, my friend. Let's do radio.
Let's see. Well, I'm writing on a board, so I'm confused as to
The
what
writing on the
medium.
board thing's
We're
not needed.
on.
I don't know why I thought that.
I believe I have the correct fighter here.
Lennox Lewis. Wow! I thought that is an
call right
incredible.
there.
Now
That is a
that
good call.
opens up a door. Lennox Lewis is correct for Israel Gutierrez.
Thank you.
That's 2 points now if we're scoring at home. 2 points for Dan, 2 points. So threes total.
And it's not
now.
the franchise. It's just the first one.
Just the first
right?
one.
Just the first one.
All right, Mike Ryan Ruiz.
So Dan has 3, Izzy has 3.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. We're still cooking.
One with Casey Affleck.
Sure you did. Sure you did. Yes, Casey Affleck is a 2-point answer. Billy Gill. Bob Einstein. Bob Einstein.
I don't remember
He's
Super
Matt
Dave
Damon's
in
dad,
that
spoiler
movie.
alert.
Bob
But
Einstein.
that might have been a sequel, Billy.
Wait
It
a
wasn't
second.
really-
Really choose a sequel.
Matt Damon was in
It
it?
was 11.
Bob Einstein. We're getting
I
a
think it was
ruling
11.
here.
There's gonna be
And we
somebody-
believe now Billy Gill is out of the game. Incorrect.
Get rid of Matt Damon. Hold on.
Whoa, no.
What happened, Matt Damon? Why'd you just say Matt Damon?
No. I didn't say Matt Damon.
Well,
Billy said Matt Damon. I was out of character.
Billy
said
said Bob
Matt Damon's
Einstein,
Yeah, now he's somewhere.
which is in
Someone
a
blurted it out.
sequel.
How is Stugotz cheating at this game?
Billy
I'm
definitely
following this
said the
game
name Matt Damon's
Thank
dad.
you.
That's what he
Thank
said.
you.
And then
Thank you. Thank
Stugotz
you.
said, "Oh,
All
Matt
right,
Damon
Stu,
was
you're
there."
up.
you.
Gill's
Thank you.
out, no points.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, incorrect, Stu. Stu is out. So now
How
we're
was he not in that movie?
Okay, on to the third round. These are 3-point answers now. We're deeper into the cast, of course. Dan Lebitard, third round, Ocean's 11 cast.
I am stuck because I cannot remember the name of these actors. I'm stuck. I know their
That's the
faces.
game.
I'm trying to
You
remember.
know their faces. That's good.
Yes,
That's good.
not helpful.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't have a third. I'm out.
All right, he's out. Israel Gutierrez for a 3-point answer.
I get a half a point for this answer.
Asian
Contortionist.
No, that is not his name.
Oh, dang it.
He wants a half point. Though.
King Shabo is his name. You
That's a
are
great
incorrect.
name.
All right, Mike, you have a chance to rack up some points here. You can go round 3, round 4, round 5 if you know the cast of Ocean's 11. Mike Ryan Ruiz.
I really screwed this up. Who the hell is the famous guy, the jowly old guy in
Yes,
the movie? I'm
yes.
forgetting his name. He's a famous actor. and I
Famous
just
actor.
Got stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck
He
on
was
that
the
one,
one
too.
who uttered those at Terry Benedict's casinos. Yes. He
tap
once
out.
took a very sexy photo shoot with Muppets. His name is Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould.
Yes.
And
But now he's off the board. Last chance for Mike Ryan Ruiz to get some points here.
No,
he just said he's
I tapped out.
He
You
tapped
tapped
out.
out.
Tapped out.
So we're out. I thought we could go 3 rounds on the cast. We did not. Matt Damon's name was not said in the answering of this.
He was
I had it.
taken
You guys
off.
made me erase
You
it.
didn't let him.
And you just took off Elliot
And I
Gould.
honestly thought, I took Elliot Gould up, I thought Israel gave an incredible hint. This con movie was based around a fight in Las Vegas, and he said Lennox Lewis.
I don't know who he was fighting. I don't
So
remember.
then he was fighting Vlad Klitschko.
Oh.
And calling the fight was Jim Lampley, Larry Stewart.
there was a
Manny
lot
Stewart,
there.
Larry Merchant, I should say.
a lot there
Wayne
for
Newton was in the audience.
Of course he was.
And that would have been answers there. All right.
But who won? Wait, just a tie?
We're
We have a
ranking
point
points
system.
here. We have a point system
game's still
here.
going.
Game's still going. That was just the first entry point into the cons.
We're gonna let you win. Don't worry.
Dan is at 3, Israel's at 3, and Mike Ryan Ruiz is at 3. Some work to do for Billy Gill and Stugotz.
I feel like Stu should get 1 point for Matt Damon.
Thank you. I feel like you should get a half a point.
Split a point, one for each
Without
of them.
rules, we have chaos, people, and Dan is chaos. I'm positivity here. Positively
make Chris
speaking.
play?
Nope, it's good. We're good.
Next topic. Superbad. The movie Superbad.
Wheelhouse, actually.
This is a wheelhouse. Famed for many breaks of character, including Michael. How did we say it? Cera? Cera? Michael Cera's in that movie. But so is the character McLovin. Famously, McLovin showed an ID. The ID showed he was from a state. What state of the union is McLovin from? Write it down and tell us. You got 10 seconds to write it down. What state was McLovin from in Superbad?
Everyone write it down.
We all go at the same time on
All
this?
go at the same time. We got 5 more
Cut to me.
seconds. Let's see it. Hawaii, Connecticut.
Let's all silently turn around our boards.
Yes. Connecticut says Stugotz. That's incorrect. He doesn't want to even try to spell Connecticut.
The Danettes. I mean, I thought he was talking about McLovin.
That's
All right.
points.
That's a point for everybody but Stugotz. Stu, you're trailing. Still the
Hawaii
lead.
is the correct
Hawaii
answer
is correct
for those
answer.
of you who don't like the whiteboards because it's a bad idea.
That's a great idea. I get to write.
And there is McLovin from Hawaii, of course. I thought that was going to be 5 for 5.
Folks, the time has come for some new golf clubs, and that means one thing. Heading over to my local PXG store for a fitting. They make the best golf clubs, period. Roy, hockey season's almost over. You're going to be out of the barn, and you're going to be out on the golf course with me. You need new clubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have your PXG fitting coming up soon. I did mine. I am telling you, it is the most efficient process. I went to the Fort Lauderdale location. They have them all over. It is efficient. You're in and out in an hour. You're swinging clubs. They're assessing you. Next thing you know, weeks later, boom, new clubs, irons, woods, putters. I'm telling you, it's the whole 9 yards. Is that a golf phrase? What, whole 9 yards. That's a football phrase.
That's like, what, you're chipping 9 yards?
It's the whole
into green?
10-foot putt. PXG does it better than anybody else. It's knocked 4 to 5 strokes off my game within the first month, and it's just a game changer. PXG fitters are highly trained, incredibly experienced, and have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. Schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you can save up to 20% on your entire order, guys. That's 20% off your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/Dan. That's pxg.com/Dan to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/Dan. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Look, as a small business, we don't get to clock out, ever. We're always on. Nights, weekends, holidays. So, when it came time to hire someone, we couldn't waste time. We needed help. Real help. Not Stugotz knows a guy help. We used LinkedIn Jobs. And we'll be honest, we didn't expect it to be that easy. We posted the job for free. LinkedIn basically held our hand and wrote the description for us. Next thing you know, candidates. Qualified ones. Not resumes written in crayon. Real people who want to work. Imagine that. LinkedIn gives you all the tools. Deep insights, easy filtering, one place to manage everything. We even threw the little hashtag hiring frame on our profile picture, doubled the number of applicants. Now we're part of that 72% of small businesses that say LinkedIn helps them find high-quality candidates. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/DLS. That's linkedin.com/DLS to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Dan Batard.
Cheaters never prosper.
Stugotz.
I ain't cheating.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
All right, we're moving along here. All right, Stu, Point Break.
Are we moving along, though? Because it's only 2 questions. So
We're gonna let you win, man.
Point Break for 1 point.
I don't like being in this room.
Point Break Another movie that involves thieving and burgling and cons. In order to rob the banks, our thieves needed to wear presidential masks. A point for each, and there's 4 presidents you can name who were the masks in the movie Point Break. Stu, I'm counting on you. I geared this to you, Stu, to get some points. And we're going to, again, ask for a lot of whiteboard work. And please, let's take a round the popcorn look at Dan Le Batard's white. You're still thinking?
Well, I'm still thinking, and I wonder if there's any penalty for getting them wrong, because I got 2, but I just want to.
Of course there's a penalty.
I just want to. Okay, so I want to guess other 2, because I only remember 2, so I'm only going to go these 2. Nixon and Reagan.
Nixon and Reagan's correct. 2 points for Le Batard. Gutierrez.
I've got Nixon, Ford, Reagan, and Carter.
Nixon, Reagan, Carter, correct. Ford, incorrect. 2 points for Gutierrez. Reagan, Nixon, Johnson, Carter. Mike Ryan Ruiz is our leader right now. 4 points. Yes. Billy Gill. Nixon, Reagan, Carter, Johnson. 4
I think
Gill.
he snuck in
He
that
needed
Johnson
that.
after cheating off of Mike.
Whoa. Pencils up.
And now Stugotz keeps writing because he's seen everybody's answers.
Well, that's the advantage I get for going last.
Still, what do we got? Hold
I
it
didn't
up.
choose the order. I have Reagan, Carter, George Washington, and Nixon.
That
Still got
is
it wrong.
3 of 4, but you lose 1 for GW. 2 points.
You got to stick that
We're
Johnson
moving
in,
along.
too.
There we go.
Who was the 4th?
The 4th was Lyndon B. Johnson. Yes.
Wasn't really a president.
Highest grossing film based off an SNL sketch. What? Highest grossing film based off an SNL sketch.
Box office?
Box office. You guys are all box office in my mind. Highest grossing film based off an SNL sketch. It's an interesting question. A lot of them big money makers. But some SNL actors made movies that are not based off of SNL sketches. While you may connect them, that happens to not be the case. Le Batard.
I wanted to take Pat, but it's Night at the Roxbury.
Night of the Roxbury is incorrect.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking about actually making money, not box office poison. What do we do? Israel Gutierrez.
So I have no idea if this is an SNL skit. Since I haven't seen SNL in forever. But is that on there?
Good Burger is neither SNL.
That's all that.
Nor
Yeah,
that's all that.
Yeah.
And now, famously, it's with Kenan Thompson, who's the great of SNL.
Well, then no points for me then.
Mike Ryan Ruiz, the chance to extend his lead.
I'm a little worried because I'm worried that the sequel might have earned more money, but I went with Wayne's World.
Michael Ryan Ruiz is correct. Woo! My man. Wayne's
Wait
World.
a minute.
Billy
Wayne's World
Gill.
made more than Night
Wayne's World.
at the Roxbury.
At the box office.
Yeah, the box office.
Box office
It
is
was
the
probably
question.
a disappointment.
Yeah.
Why? Stugotz.
I wrote down Wayne's World.
Wayne's World it is. 3. A point for Mike.
When
Billy.
did you write down Wayne's World?
After Mike said it.
Decided now I'm not going to let you win. I want it.
We're moving along here. I want to have some time here for debate, so we're moving along with the questions part, direct questions. Dazed and confused.
Wow.
What concert were the main characters trying to get tickets to finish their senior year of high school? What band would be playing for the concert in Dazed and
I'm
Confused?
ashamed to say that I did not see Dazed and Confused, so I'm totally guessing here. What year was Dazed and Confused?
Oh, no, come on.
Okay.
I'm going to say
Billy
in the
knows the answer.
mid-1990s,
I thought you guys said you
It
were
was
Let
made
me
in the
win.
90s,
Just
but it
guess,
was
yeah,
supposed to be based in the 70s.
Dan Le Batard, what band? Name a band, Dan.
Well, I was
Or
gonna
write it
go
down on the whiteboard.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I'm going to go Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, incorrect. Israel Gutierrez.
I'm going with Black Sabbath
Black
on the whiteboard.
Sabbath, incorrect. Michael Ryan Ruiz.
I'm wrong. I went with Kiss. So.
Kiss, incorrect.
Wow.
Billy Gill.
I put Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, incorrect.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, incorrect. Aerosmith.
Man.
Sports movies. So that's points off for everybody, but everyone got it wrong, so we're still moving along. Mike Ryan Ruiz in the lead, Israel, and Dan Le Batard still with some heart left. Sports movies, famously.
Tony's keeping score.
A sport movie. Rocky,
Yeah.
famously,
wheelhouse
also a sport movie. would be Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I think we all know Carl Weathers.
Of course.
As playing Apollo Creed in Chubbs. That's not your question. But Carl Weathers was a professional athlete. For 2 points. What sport and what American professional sports team did Carl Weathers play for?
Sport and team.
Sport and team.
In real life?
In real life, yes, because Carl Weathers exists.
What if we gave you his number? Is that a bonus?
That would be a bonus, too. Dan Lebitard is on the board. Football Raiders, 2 points for Lebitard. Israel Gutierrez.
Can I give you a little inside information as to why we're all going to get this one right?
Yes, please.
Amin El Hassan recently wore a Carl Weathers Oakland Raiders jersey to the show.
Number 49, bonus point. American Football Raiders.
Was it the Oakland or LA Raiders?
Oakland.
At that time, it was Oakland. Okay. Yes, 1970s.
I hedged my bets and just went Raiders.
And Billy Gill?
Oh, yeah.
Points,
Yeah.
and bonus for Billy Gill. Football Steelers.
Hey, the bonus point thing, it's a little shady.
I appreciate the positivity here, the bonus points.
I saw him write it after.
There's cheating involved here.
How so?
Because we let Dan win in the end.
I love this game.
Okay.
This is the best game ever.
All
When's
right.
the debate portion of it, by the way? What are we going to be arguing about?
I've got some debate questions right here. We're going to be arguing about action movies.
Israel. Oh,
Soundtracks. We're going to be arguing action movies and soundtracks. All right. One more question here. And this will decide who gets the debate.
How many points is it worth?
This is a 3-point question.
Do we get FaceTime if I win?
Professional sports athlete.
It's like the money ball.
Yeah, FaceTime comes after debate. You can give us your hottest movie take. Happy Gilmore 2.
2.
In the making. One of our favorite actors of all time. Made an appearance in yesterday's show. Richard Kiel.
Jaws.
Jaws fame from, yes, of course, from James Bond. Played a famous character in Happy Gilmore 1.
Oh, my God.
Whether that character is coming back or whether this is the son of that character, we don't know the specifics. But a professional athlete of the last 10 years will be playing the role of the Richard Kiel character from Happy Gilmore 1 and Happy Gilmore 2. Who is that professional athlete?
I didn't know that was happening. So the they're going to get a villainous, scary person.
Scary person to play a heckler on the course, I'm assuming, in the oeuvre of the Richard Kiel character. And I'm looking for answers here. This is worth 3 points. This will tip the balance if you get this right. Mike Ryan Ruiz is working with a lead. We'll go to Mike Ryan Ruiz first. Boban is correct.
Oh.
So Mike Ryan is definitely into the final. I can see right now. Stugotz, you need all. Chris Kamen.
Wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's a good.
Can you take my point?
guess.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
That
deserves points. That deserves
I think it deserves points. Chris Kamen famously, while he had a full career in the NBA. The knock on Kamen, Dan, you would know this, right?
There's several knocks.
Had one of the shorter wingspans in NBA history for a man his size. He was very T-Rex.
I just remember the face.
Yes.
But the biggest knock is that he's Chris Kamen.
Yeah. Billy Gill, you need the points. Boban is correct.
That was cheating. Wait.
It's not cheating.
I cheated on the other ones, not this one.
Now this comes down to it. So if Israel gets this, I believe, and we'll get a final check of the scoring, he will advance. If he doesn't, and Dan gets this, then Dan will advance into the showdown. Israel, your final guess. I saw what happened there. Israel, don't turn over Billy Gills. Who will be playing the character in Happy Gilmore 2?
I think everybody in the building here knows my feelings about Adam Sandler movies, so I don't think you'll be shocked when you see that on my board it just says, "Let's go Cats, baby!" Woo!
Let's go, Cats! Let's go, Cats!
Okay. The answer is Boban, and I'm looking at Dan Lebitard's whiteboard because whiteboards are positivity in the world, and Dan Lebitard is advanced with Boban will be playing the Richard Kiel character in Happy Gilmore 2. All right, so we have made it to the showdown portion. Do we have any showdown music here, Chris Cody? Anything in the Quick and the Dead? Anything in the Western style?
That was a very positive response from Chris Cody. You should
Chris
know.
Cody did not. He just muttered bleep under his breath, and then
does that a lot
through the public domain library.
All right, Mike Ryan Ruiz, Dan Lebitard into showdown. That was the cue for
How
you
much
to
music
hit the
is in a
right there,
game
Cody.
show? Isn't it just one song throughout?
All right. My man. There we go.
Right on time.
All right.
24 hours early. 24 hours early.
And a 30-second TikTok, if we have that here. We will be alternating takes here, and I'll make a ruling on who had the more persuasive take. It's not to have an opinion, it's to prove why your opinion is correct right now. You can have lights, you can have cameras, but you got nothing until you have action. Action movies. Here's our debate. I need an unimpeachable Mount Rushmore. That means 4 and only 4. Make the case right now for the 4 greatest action stars of all time. Mike Ryan Ruiz, you amassed the most points. You have the chance to answer first for 30 seconds or defer to Dan Lebitard.
Ooh, defer.
Dan Lebitard, 30 seconds on the clock right now. 4 greatest action stars of all time. Go.
Bruce Willis, because they kept using him long after he had lost his faculties. Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's so likable that he was able to overcome that he cheated on a very powerful woman with his nanny, had a baby, and is still hugely popular. Tom Cruise, because of the Mission Impossible franchise, and Wesley Snipes, because I need a DEI group of action stars here. I don't have, you know what? And Charlize Theron, because
Whoa!
Time.
Time is up. And you see what he did. He added
The Mount
5.
Gregmore.
We'll see how that goes. That is a Mount Greatmore. All right. How about Mike Ryan Ruiz? 30 seconds on the clock.
Number 1 is Tom Cruise, obviously, for Mission Impossible Fallout. Not even the greatest action movie of all time, perhaps the greatest movie of all time. My number 2 is Tom Cruise, because he saved the movie industry with Top Gun Maverick. My number 3 is Tom Cruise, because there is no Top Gun Maverick without the original Top Gun. And number 4, surprise, it's Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Because of Days of Thunder, because of Minority Report, because of being the greatest movie star we've ever seen, because of Mission Impossible 1, Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, wow. That was a fire take. Do we have any fire sound effects?
he didn't let me win. He told me
It's not over yet. It's not over.
Lebitard as well. Well, you had 5 in your Mount Rushmore, Dan. Chaos. You see, he doesn't even allow for the positivity. Let's go around the horn here.
Wait, we need different music for this, Chris.
I just want to see. Billy Gill just showed me his top 4 before we make a ruling here.
Yeah, Vin Diesel, The Rock, Jason Statham, and Ludacris. That's my top.
Ludacris.
action,
And Stu.
Don Omar.
I have a feeling Stu's going to give us one name we haven't heard yet that I think.
Stallone's in there.
Stallone's
Keanu
in
Reeves
there.
also in
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yes.
And Israel, do you have anyone you think has been missing from the conversation?
I was eliminated 1 segment ago, so I did not participate in this.
Couldn't write fast enough.
Mike Ryan Ruiz, dominating performance. Dominating performance in today's Around the Popcorn. You have won. This is when we're supposed to have some applause, Chris. I'm trying to set us up here.
What do you got, Mike?
Yes! And now you have earned a FaceTime for the ages here. Mike Ryan Ruiz, 30 seconds of congratulatory FaceTime or anything you want in movies. Go.
In movies?
Yes, this was Around the Popcorn. What did you think you were doing?
Take your time, Mike. Just not more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, people. Whew, the Middle East. Boy, this is a pickle.
Best movie from the Middle East. How about that?
Ooh, that's great.
Three
Best
Kings.
movie. That's a good
Three
one.
Kings is strong.
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down,
Northern Africa. I'm just gonna go ahead and say go Pants. Let's go Pants because look, the greatest sign of a man maturing is when he can admit that he's wrong, and plenty of opportunities for me to admit that I'm wrong during the Stanley Cup playoff when it comes to Brad Marchand, and I did. He's a good player, but he's not a good human being, and I think that's the most important lesson that we can learn from all this is sometimes bad guys win. So congratulations to Brad Marchand, hopefully.
And you're thinking Brad Marchand's going to lick the Oilers tonight?
I think if he does lift the trophy over his head today, I will turn around and not give him any respect.
You met the Oils.
That was great, right? I walked up to that guy and asked him, what's the name of the team? He had him as the Oil, which is incredible. All right, around the popcorn, Mike Ryan Ruiz, I'm impressed. I was told you were going to win today's show. Chris Cody, I was told you were going to be right there. Would you have won today's show if you weren't very poorly doing the music?
I knew super bad.
Why'd you sit it out?
Yeah.
Because
he had buttons to
I had
push.
like a
I
million
had one more
things
question
going
here,
on
guys. You guys can have some fun
bonus
with it.
question.
All right, go.
Best soundtrack from a movie ever. I thought that was a place we could have some fun too, because I
Saturday
think
Night Fever.
movies
Space
have
Jam.
music.
Space Jam's
Rocky
really good.
III.
Lion King.
Sweeney Todd.
And he's driving
No,
around. He's
Rocky
thinking about
IV,
life. He's contemplating. Rocky IV.
Hercules.
Second.
Yeah.
Almost Famous
Hercules,
is a good soundtrack.
Almost Famous
Fast
is an
and Furious
outstanding
5.
soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
There is a
St. Elmo's Fire.
There is an answer to
Great
a
one.
question as well. What is the highest grossing or most sales from a soundtrack from a movie ever? It surprised me because I thought Saturday Night Fever
I was
had
just
all
gonna
those
say
I would say
hits in the
Footloose.
70s, right? Footloose is a great guess. It's incorrect.
It's not Saturday Night Fever.
Titanic?
It is. Titanic
Titanic's
is
good.
also in the top 3 because it had that mega hit from Celine Dion.
Batman Forever.
This is a
Bodyguard?
movie with one. Yes.
Bodyguard.
Wow.
There it is.
Good answer.
Nice.
Yeah, movie.
Who told him that?
Yes.
Nobody.
Okay, now sing it.
No. Litigious. Not if you want people to subscribe to youtube.com/@Stugotz790.
Thank you, Mike.
I didn't realize we had my own. I love this around the popcorn. So that photo above me right now, I'm actually trying to. That's a Superman thing. I was pulling off my jacket for the.
You excited for Superman?
Not as excited as I thought I would be after seeing what we had. Yeah.
He's just not interesting, you know? Man who has everything, one weakness, we got it. You're not necessarily a captivating.
All right. So the Panthers tonight. Where are you watching, guys?
In the barn.
I'll be in the barn.
Yep, on my couch.
That's
I'm
not
waiting
the
for
barn.
some prices to go down, and then maybe I'll be at the barn. But outside of that, I'll be at the casa.
Let's go, Pants! Look, as a small business, we don't get to clock out, ever. We're always on. Nights, weekends, holidays. So, when it came time to hire someone, we couldn't waste time. We needed help. Real help. Not Stugotz knows a guy help. We used LinkedIn Jobs. And we'll be honest, we didn't expect it to be that easy. We posted the job for free. LinkedIn basically held our hand and wrote the description for us. Next thing you know, candidates. Qualified ones. Not resumes written in crayon. Real people who want to work. Imagine that. LinkedIn gives you all the tools. Deep insights, easy filtering, one place to manage everything. We even threw the little hashtag hiring frame on our profile picture, doubled the number of applicants. Now we're part of that 72% of small businesses that say LinkedIn helps them find high-quality candidates. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/DLS. That's linkedin.com/DLS to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan. Now, if you've been listening to the show a lot lately, you've heard so much playoff talk. Playoff hoops. Down here in South Florida, we're especially enamored with playoff hockey. It's not just limited to the playoffs. Motorsports, tennis, golf. It's truly one of the best times in the sporting calendar. And with the weather outside warming up, it's just perfect to hop in a pool, maybe grill up some food, but most certainly crack open some Miller Lights. I just described a pretty perfect day, didn't I? And it culminates with Miller time. There's something about a perfect grilling day. The sun's out, friends show up, and that first sip of Miller Lite just hits different. I've been stocking up the cooler with it for years. This year, Miller Lite turns 50. That is 5 decades of cookouts, laughs, and ice-cold moments that never miss. And if you've listened to the show for its 20-year existence, you know this to be true. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.